Okay, we're live. I'm just going to quickly check this out before we get back on to that 2442 from last night. I've been given the go-ahead by the owner to try and see if we can get that machine to come to life, but I've given them fair warning that there's no guarantee that it'll last more than a couple of days, but they still want to give it a shot, and fair enough. We'll check this one out. I can't remember if I actually already have looked at this one, and if I have, then it's my own fault for not marking it as a no fix if it is a no fix. Okay. We'll do our preliminary checks. Hey there, Toby, Jim, other Jim, Miles, Pedro, okay, Cassandra. 458, that's pretty good. Okay, alright, this is interesting. Well, that looks vaguely familiar. What is the problem with this machine? Hey Bob, Zero. Now they called that election fast. I was quite impressed. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's the deal is with this one. This is a stock machine. It's not a customer's data machine or anything like that. Otherwise I wouldn't be so cavalier about just powering it up to see what's going on. But the NAND seem pretty much on spec. This is going to be a bad display or something. 20 volts. I'm just got. Okay, we have no we do have a display. What the hell then? Oh, I think this is the one where it would just intermittently fail. That's right. Yeah, I think this one, it sort of powers up for a little bit, then crashes out. So we'll take the board out, have a look. Notice it hasn't actually come up. But the fact that this is a Chinese refurb kind of gives me a little bit of concern. The charging seems fine. Okay, it's responding. What's the password? Nope. Apple. Nope. Apple. No idea what the password is. Of course not. That'd be too much. Yeah, I'm not really sure what could cause that. One of the first things that would come to mind is maybe there's a problem with the data flex or some issues around that, because if it is running with the battery powering it through and the data flex is connected, and then all of a sudden it has a glitch in the data flex or the communications, then that will make it immediately drop. There's not too many other things that can cause that kind of behavior that I would expect out of this machine. Maybe something slightly disconnected somewhere. But yeah, I'd sooner be saying there's a problem with the data. It could be just a bad data flex. It's certainly not unheard of. And so you usually buy a bunch of these and if you just replace them cheap enough. Like if I can't find anything visually wrong with the board, then yeah, one of my first things would be, well, we'll just change that flex. Well, this one's from Jason of Unofficial Mac, so I don't know if he's done anything like that. Let's have a look. Again, tonight we are running with the A380 in AV1 encoding mode, which seems to show up as VP9, so hopefully that will continue to work okay. The other possibility is that it's something like a little resistor that has been pulled up or knocked edge on, and it's making sort of contact most of the time, and then every now and then they don't look too happy, but I'm pretty sure that's how they are. That it's just a manufacturing. Okay, there's a problem. Look at that. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but see how that screw, it's not sitting down properly? Okay, so it means we've got a problem with the heat sinks sitting in wrong. So we'll have a look at that again, see? So these two, that one there and that one there, they're not properly screwed in. So it may be that, it may be that the GPU is cooking off. Although again, very unusual. But yeah, they're definitely not sitting in properly. So we'll have a look at that, see if there's a thermal paste issue there. Nothing's jumping out at me at the board. Hey, Macbook fix it, David. But yeah, look at that. Your screws are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to sit like that, not like that. Okay, Zero's in a betting mood. Believes that there's going to be no paste. That would be funny. Frickin' glitter. Glitter just gets everywhere. It's terrible stuff. It really is terrible stuff. That current sense resistor, it's probably not an issue, but that's kind of, it's, see how that's not sitting quite down? And there is a little bit of a gapping in the solder. What was that? I mean, it's probably okay, but it certainly isn't ideal. Could have done with a little more paste. And we've got, what have we got there? No, nothing. Yeah, definitely nothing jumping out at me, so let's try that heatsink. Could have been that they already did try, and they just didn't bother putting it back in properly. I mean, there should still be enough tension on there, but anyway. Well, something's holding it. Yeah, there's paste. There is a void there, though. See this here? And there? Looks like there's a bit of an air bubble. But I'm not sure I could... Yeah, they didn't really clean off the old paste properly. All they've done is just smushed off the old stuff, and it's all jammed up in amongst all the smaller parts. Looks like 0 lost the 10. Hey, Chlorophyll. Hey, plug. Martin. What's that? That looks like there's paste there, but it's very weird. It's like that's an old paste blob or something. Yeah, that's an old blob of paste in amongst all this. Oh, no. They've just applied paste on top of the old paste or something. And this doesn't even look like very good paste. I don't know. I'm not a paste expert, but I feel like that needs to be cleaned up properly. And I'm probably not the guy to do that properly. But I'll try. Hey there, slime. I'll do my best. But yeah, they've got 2 layers of paste there. And this stuff really feels more like plastic than it is paste. It's almost like it's silicon in a way. It looks like I'm going to have to just go through a whole lot of these earbuds. Yeah, wood glue PVA. I mean, it's one thing if you leave all the gunk amongst those small resistors and caps, but you shouldn't be leaving gunk on the chip itself. I'm sort of, like I said, I'm a bit disinclined to try and remove it out of between those parts because it's going to start causing more issues than probably what I'm willing to deal with. You see what I mean? See how it peels off like that? And this looks like it was pretty air gapped. You can see that kind of cracking that's going on in there. So I feel like that was an air gap in there. Toothpaste, yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. Probably was, yeah. I can still see all their old stuff on the edges here. Well, at least the dye looks good. that's really been caked in there. Hey Catherine, welcome. Might have to get out the old toothbrush just to try and dislodge some of that stuff. No, that's a bit better. You can actually see between the caps now. Alright, so that's the board done. Has this been lapped? Nope. I don't think you really need to bother with these ones lapping them. I mean, if you really want to get that last 100 megahertz out of overclocking, then yeah, by all means go and lap it, but not these ones. You certainly don't want to try lapping the silicon die. That'd be funny as hell to see. Maybe I should suggest that to some people. Tell them they need to lap their silicon die. Hey, Ed Boss. The sad thing is, there's probably people out there who will do it. This really needs to just come off because there's already one over there. Okie dokie. Hey, phone repair RO. Alright, this is the most agonising part of the whole thing for me. It's definitely excessive. If you ever done bluing, lapping, bluing and things like that, you know you need very little material to do the task of filling up the imperfections in the metal. That's basically what the thermal paste really is there for. It's there to fill up the teeny tiny imperfections. The less you require to use, the better. But you do want to get a proper interface going. Ideally, it should vacuum lock. If you find you don't get a vacuum lock with it, then you probably probably got an issue. Anyway, so you do this kind of squiggle rub, and it squeezes out all the bubbles and it minimizes the thickness of that material. The nice thing is you should be able to let it go. As long as you don't disturb it, knock it or anything like that, then that vacuum lock should hold. Should. It would help if I knew where I put my driver. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. If you ever have owned or used a set of gauge blocks, like very well, nicely machined gauge blocks, you'll know the kind of cold welding or vacuum. They're not the same thing, but the cold welding effect is when the two metals actually do merge together, as opposed to sort of like you've squeezed all the air out and now you can't get them apart. But they haven't actually welded. The difference being is when they're cold welded you can't laterally slide them, whereas when it's a vacuum lock you can usually. Okay, it's not to say that this is fixed, but that certainly wasn't great. I mean, whatever the hell that paste was, I don't know, and it was mixed with old paste, which is never a good idea. Oh yes, the joy of tin whiskers, yes. But really, aside from that, I can't really see anything significant on here, so it's one of those things we're just going to have to put into a bunch of testing, and only time will be the way of proving it one way or another. Some weird stuff going on down here. Alright, let's get this thing back together. We'll run it on some tests. Although I have to find out what the damn password is. Because unlike other machines, I can't just boot this to a test system. I've actually got to log in. Oh well, I'm sure Jason will be able to tell me what it is. Hey, Mr. Raper199? Reaper, sorry. Pure H. Fans have got some weird, funky stuff going on. There's like little smidges of liquid damage everywhere. I'd say it's from the original board, the one that isn't in here anymore. So something obviously happened to the system and they put a new board in and it's kind of misbehaving still. This is a big reason why I don't believe in, as a general rule, doing liquid damage repairs for the machine to be keeping on being used. Because there's so many small things that could potentially cause the machine to misbehave, and it's typically going to be intermittent, which is going to be more maddening. Now it's different in the case of the 2442 we're about to deal with, because I've already fully informed the person and advised them of the relative risks and the reality of the fact that it may be all for naught, and they've still opted to go ahead. And at least, if nothing else, I've got that in writing. Once you have it in writing, then that's pretty good. Which is another reason why I don't do voice phone calls, because if you do voice phone calls, unless you record that, which you may not be allowed to if you're in a two-party state, which I'm pretty sure Australia is predominantly two-party, isn't it? Just assume it's always a two-party anyway. Yeah, but if you have it in writing via an email or just online chat, then you're pretty good to go. There's definitely smidges of liquid damage down there. Hey F1 Lab, are you eating salad while repairing? Well, no, unfortunately they ate all the salad and just left me with the bad dressing. Okay, so yeah, you can see there's a remnant here of whatever liquid damage did strike the board before. So just more reasons why it's not a good idea, as a general rule, to say to your people, or even just to offer a machine repair if it's liquid damaged, without fully advising your customer that it's a pretty good chance that it won't last that long. Hey Thomas from Wake. Okay, Wi-Fi connectors. Well, there's no screws for this, by the way. It was supplied to me like this. Still a reasonable chance that it is the data flex. Just realised I didn't even check the USB-C ports. There's probably a reasonable chance that they're damaged. Okay, it is ramping up for the charge, so I'm not panicking yet. If you finish fixing the water damage job, you should cover the entire board. I can guarantee you, no matter how much you cover them, there's going to be one spot that you missed, and that will be the spot that the next damage will come in. And then you're going to have a whole lot of fun because you've got to deal with the old or the new stuff you put on there. Well, that's what I mean, Miles, is like, it's not always, but there's often, the risk is usually towards it being a dud. Okay, why is this now dead? It's charging, but it's not turning on. And all we did was change the paste. It's not a good sign. That means there could be an issue with the PCH or the GPU or the CPU, as in, bad balling. Display cable is in, yes. There's no fan spin. There's no power showing up on the chipmunk either. This is a 2141. I'm not seeing any behavior like holding down the power button. Oh wait, there we go. We got a But it's weird, I'm not getting any power activity at all on the chipmunk. Alright, what I'll do is I'll put this on the bench behind me. Just shift a couple of jobs that need to be shifted. I had this bench clean just like a couple of days ago, and already it's a complete and utter disaster. Okay. Alright, we'll get to the salad machine now. I'm going to guess that this machine has a problem with its either CPU or GPU. and I'm going to guess that, yeah, it was sold as a, well, obviously it was sold as a refurb. But the problem is that there's intermittent connections there or something like that, and yeah, that's my guess. Alright, so we have some gnarly salad dressing issues here that need to be addressed. And I'm going to sort of work from the epicenter and work my way out. We are achieving 20 volts, which means then that there is some hope that the 3217s are sufficiently intact. Kind of makes me think though that then the ROMs should be also intact. Like, you wouldn't be getting 20 volts if they were not, which does give me cause for concern. Now, given that this has been damaged on account of salad dressing, I'm not really anticipating looking for other kinds of damage. So I'm going to be looking for faults that are wherever the liquid was, not some random places elsewhere on the board. Hey Dipum. Maybe Mr. Dutton will return to the police force. But then again, it's not like he's going to suffer. The guy's got a pretty good portfolio. Okay, I might replace that resistor. Yeah, it's not like these guys fall and become, you know, okay, yeah, that'll about do it. A little bit of pushy. Although that shouldn't really affect things, because that was just a bit of a decoupler. Oh, where the hell do you go? Anyway, as I said, this is why we center around wherever the liquid damage was and don't bother chasing random areas. What was that one? Is this one here? ROM UPC hold low and 3v3. Okay, thankfully at least, even if we've lost that veer, we can pick it up from over here. We probably will have to. I have a feeling that veer is very much gone. We'll test a couple. We'll test this one here. We'll test that one there. Thankfully at least, you know, there's a couple of points around the board for it. We'll do continuity testing. It looks like that rail in general is the one that was cooking everything, because down here, this cap, that's also on that rail. Okay, we definitely don't have anything going on there. Let's see, over here to here. Nope, I'm going to have to scrape back. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, the veer is there and it is intact, so that's good in the sense that at least we know the corrosion hasn't gone down into the board. However, we're still going to have to run a wire. It's just, yeah, we're just going to have to do it. what was that part? $3K3, really? Really? You know, silly values like that? Yeah, that obviously was going to have to come off. Yeah, but like I said, we'll just start from the epicenter and work our way up. I do not want that glob. Great. Hey everybody, welcome to Lewis Rossman stream, where we just glob flux everywhere. The more flux the better. Glob, glob, glob. RF261's a no stuff, so it's not a problem. You're referring to this one here. It's not a problem, it's a no stuff, intentionally so. Always put solder on the wrong way. Okay. Shouldn't know, nothing's gonna want to flow on here. Pretty good. Even though you can see the head of the stalk there, I'm not using it. So I'm just going to route a new wire entirely. I think we'll take this resistor as well, and of course that cap. Thomas, that was a little bit different back then, because back then, like with the 1466s and things like that, and the sort of damage that we were dealing with, you could do that kind of technique because you could ultrasonic them. But we can't ultrasonic them anymore, at least not dependably. So instead we have to go for a far more controlled kind of system. Also, like I said, the amount of damage that we're dealing with is very different. Like with the flux and boil, it was very broad spread kind of damage, and you know, it was kind of white. Obviously my parameters must be out today. So yeah, all I can say is your circumstances changed and that technique sort of fell out of favour. Okay, so I want a 3K3 for that resistor, and then... is that what I'm after? And then up here we've got a cap. And that is a 100 nanofarad 6.3, okay. Just general decoupler. So what was starting to happen when we were using that broad sort of flux and boil technique with the newer machines, they would work for a while and then they would start failing, particularly once we started to get into the CD3215s and things like that. 1466 is always a good stream fix. I should have taken that sticker off before I did that. Whoops. And that little veer top is being awful tempting to me. A bit of junk under here coming out. I might lift that, have a look. 18W. I really should lift the ROM chip as well. See, that's why I wanted to lift it. You can see there's damage there on that pin. So that needs to be cleaned up. And this is the sort of damage that gets you months later. I'm ignoring you, Pedro. Now I'm happier about that. Although I really need to look at the underside of it too. Yeah. Yeah, that's not so good. That needs to be replaced. That chip's no good. I mean, it might be salvageable, but chances are I'm going to be much better off just looking for a spare. Yeah, I agree, Defcom. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. You've got to look at how the success rate is, and if it just starts falling off, then yeah, you got to factor that in. So for a while it was working well, I was happy to use it, but then it stopped working well, and I started getting more returns than I was willing to accept. Then it was like, that's it, I'm taking that off the menu. Okay, this is a 7417 basically. Search, find. I'm fairly sure there's a bunch of these. Hopefully there'll be, yeah, I was going to say there'll be one on the 2016s. Okay, what are we, 5320. Okay, you're down on the notch. What? 2016 board. Oh no, you're a different package variant. No, wait, you shouldn't be. What have I got here? I got a different board? This is weird. This is a 2016. Yep, confirmed, 2016. And that chip is not there. Let's see. Well, it's a different variant of the chip, that's for sure. Where is it? It is a 6-pinner, but it's a square profile, whereas the other one was a rectangular profile. I gotta say, that's a little unusual. Normally, if you get the whole part name, it typically within the lettering carries the package identifier or type. So that's a little weird. Alright, that's fine. Just going to double check that I really did get the right one. Maybe I clicked on the wrong package. UF735. UF735. Yep. SON package. That's definitely it. Well, what we can do is we can further refine it by putting in the SON requirement. Oh, and it still comes up on the... Wow. Okay, this is interesting. I mean, basically, it's just a Schmidt buffer. And problematically, I do not believe I have any of these other boards yet. I don't even have a 2100 yet. Weird. We'll keep that running. There's not many files left though, that's a problem, that's scary. So normally I'm used to seeing them like these ones here. Oh, it's 2020 supposedly has them. Okay, we've got some hope here. I'll grab a 2020 and let that keep running. I mean, it makes sense that a 2020 was likely to have one too. But then I've got the problem of I don't even know if I've got a working 2020 use. And that's it. Oh boy. Yeah, let's confirm there as well as another. You know what, I'm actually going to go back to the 2016 because I don't seem to think I've got any 2020s here that I can use for parts. What I'm going to do is, there's probably more than one of these. So this is 5320. Here we go. A2445. Where'd you go? You're in the middle there by the big caps. Yeah, there you go. That's one there. That's very unusual. Well, I guess it's a revision thing. Which OS do you use? Your daily driver, phone and computer? Linux for the computer, and I use iPhone and MacBook for my, just, you know, if I want to get things done in terms of general using of computer, not technical stuff, then yeah, MacBooks. But 99% of my work is done on a PC machine, and it's running Linux. And I have very, very little use of Windows. There actually should be squillions of these chips around on the board, really. Yeah, Miles, I saw that, and one of them did pop. I smelt its smelly butt. Yep, there we go. Same chip, PJ, whatever the flip. So we've got pin 1 bottom left there. And it is bottom left. Okay, so we've confirmed the orientation's correct. You can take a hike. Great. Now I have successfully lost the orientation information because it gets obscured once you get goop all over it. Let's go. We can use some hot air and we'll blow away the goop. There we go. Okay, we're still good. That's a terrible placement, but it'll shuffle into the right place. Will it? No. Blimey. That was actually almost disastrous. Okay, so we need 3K3. Get rid of that bit of corrosion. That was once a pad. 3K3. And I do 99% sure I've got 3K3 in my stash. Yep, sure do. If I can help it, I always prefer to use brand new parts. You know, so using reclaimed parts is pretty much the last option on my list. Only because it's just a little bit less risk factor. We really do need to lift that ROM, and we need to get rid of the cap, and we need to get rid of that resistor down there too. I might just take the cap and the resistor in one hit. Okay, cap gone. Resistor gone. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh boy, okay, pin 1 bottom right. It's not so pretty. Ach nee man, 10 o'clock. Hey Siri. I know, I nearly ate that resistor. Yeah, Miles, I know, it's crazy. The board's freaking hot, by the way. I am worried about that one too. I think it probably be a smart thing to replace that as well. Somebody didn't put enough flux down. Hopefully this is still viable. It does look fairly viable to me. So that pin there just needs a little touch of assistance. It just wasn't quite flowing with the solder, you know, kind of unpredictably bead off it. Okay, that's better now. That's much better. Okay, I'll just put this on and then I'll go deal with the micro. Okay, bottom right. Ah, burning my flesh. Go deal with micro and I'll be back. we're back. Alrighty, okay, sorry about that. I had to change the batteries too on the microphone system because it was getting flat. Interestingly, the micro injection was very quick, but then when I went to check where Milo was, I couldn't find him for a bit, so that took it all longer. Okay, so we have a cap and a resistor to go, at the very least. So what is that? 1 microfarad, 63402. Okay. One microfarad, 6.3. We have that resistor to deal with. Try this one here. Ah, it's the beloved 15 ohmer. Okay. 15 ohms. 15 ohms. I know I've got one of those around. Or at least I'm pretty sure I do, because I've encountered 15 ohms enough times that it's made me go, you better get some of those 15 ohm resistors. 1K5, only a couple of magnitudes out. There we go, 15 ohms. Oh, that went straight onto my fingertip. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to wire up that via. Oh, where am I? Yeah, I'm going to wire up that via. I spoke about doing it last night, and then I ummed and erred, and then yeah. Actually, it's probably a perfectly good piece right there. Did I get it? Yep, I got it. That thing behaves like it's got lead free on it. Okay, let's see if we get this right or whether we botch it up. That should work. Now I want that resistor between the ROM and it actually doesn't look too bad, that one. It is being a little bit reluctant taking solder on that bottom pad. Yeah, that's actually enough. And let's see, for that particular resistor, we want... What are you? Oh, you're another 3K3. Okay. So the 3K3s all around. Gonna add a dab more flux. And that should pull itself in. Well, that'll do. Alright, that's that section sorted out. Now I'm a little worried about this ROM here. We also have a connector here to replace. I'm trying to think where I can get another one, to be honest, because that's not. I don't have any of these donor boards, to be honest. I've been looking for them. They're not exactly the easiest to happen by. So I do want to check this chip. And naturally, of course, it's right next to a nice, delicate little connector. Although that said, that I can probably find lying around. I'm still going to protect it, but I have a feeling this should be just dirt. But given that I did say to the person I'm going to do my best in terms of trying to find and eliminate possible, liquid damage future things. I mean, obviously I'm not going to get them all, but just trying to get rid of most of them. Hey, repairable iPhone. Yeah, there's a little bit of junk on there. It wasn't too bad. It probably would not have ended up causing issues, but I am glad at least we lifted it just to confirm. Iron can't do that, Paul. You want some more heat in that tip. It does one side, but the other side is... we've got too many ground pins on it. So we can dab rebuild like that. And that's fine. Slightly off topic question. Do you use a clipboard management tool on your Linux? No, I don't. No. No, I just don't. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Random balls floating around there. I mean, I just use Control-C, Control-V or middle click on the mouse. Seems to do me just dandy fine. Alright, so now we need to find a replacement connector for here. This is one of our USB-C ports. And there might be something in amongst, I don't think I'm going to find something, but we'll have a search. Schematics. So it's one of these. I'm hoping that a 1041 or something like that will show up, but I really do not have a lot of hope. But that's okay. I mean, even if I can't put it on tonight, we can test the board without it. A2536. Definitely don't have one of that. 2100 don't have that. Jeez. 2681, that's a possibility. Maybe I do. But then I've only got pristine 28. I don't want to give up my good ones. I'm not like you, Pedro. I can't sacrifice the good stuff. Or can I? Wait, yeah, I have done one of them, haven't I? Yeah, you might be right on that, Pedro. You might well be right. Oh, what the hell? Holy shit. I do have a 2100 board. How the hell did that happen? Magical frickin' fairies, I tell ya. Well, I got a 2100, so I'll probably take it from that. But I'll just see if I've already taken parts off this. And I have indeed taken parts off this, so therefore I can continue to take parts off this. Oh, Miles, I wish it was that way. I wish it was. But it is not. Okay, here we go with trying not to ruin the connector. Don't touch the frickin' plastic, Paul. Looks like a horseshoe crab from the underside. How's this? Uncalled for. Uncalled for. I'm a busy man. Hey, at least I got the 3D printer going, right? I mean, you got to give me credit for that. Right, now I've got hairs all over my flux. Yeah, that should about do it. Nah, fucked it. Let's give it another hope, another wave, and it actually probably is okay. There we go. I feel like there was a speck of something that got under it or something. Oh no, it's ow, ow, it's sitting flat. Yeah, it's sitting flat. For some reason I thought it had a piece of junk under it. Okay, so we'll let that cool off. Fingers crossed. I need to write donor or something on this one. We've got a minute or so before that cools down enough. Save that paste. I've got a big fat tube of Tim's replacement paste. I do not know what's going on with that A2441, but it's not coming up. It's charging fine, but it's not coming up. So I'm thinking, you know, either CPU or GPU is completely cactus. Okay. Need a MagSafe 3 cable. Volts. The current's looking a lot better tonight. It's still not firing up though. Why did it do the reset? Or maybe it'll come up this time. Sometimes I've noticed they'll do like a full reset and come back. But if it does it again, then we've got a problem. Nope, we're back. There we go. That's what we wanted. Alright, now we're going to clean up. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but with some of these, they do that. They go through a 20-volt cycle for a bit, they reset, and then come back. I think it's because it was a no battery situation, and it was from cold, so to speak. Okay, so we're just going to roughly try and get rid of as much of this yucky flux as we can. As always, this flux is usually like a no clean type flux, but I still clean it. I think too many people take the whole no clean thing a little too literally, and hence we end up with these boards where they look terrible. Oops. Yep. Just break the pogo pins, Paul. Did I get CPU activity? Yes, I did. I got the green dot, the green blink. Believe me, I wouldn't be jumping ahead like this if I hadn't got that green blink. Alright, that's looking pretty good there. Now we've got the real disaster zone here. Now I think I'll use the electric. Hey there, Harold. You've been a bit absent lately. You okay? Gotta be real careful around that veer, because like I said, if I lose that veer top, I basically have to pull off one of the 3217s on the other side to get to it. And we don't want that. I need to clean that up a little more. Sheesh. Yeah. Ooh, getting fumes of IPA, that's not good. He's in vacation in Colombia. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, at least that explains that. I'm happy to hear at least you're on vacation, you know, doing something fun with your time. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to UV cure that section there. Yeah, Arnold G, that's the Joey rub technique, where you just use a looped microfiber cloth. It is amazingly effective. It is not something I would have believed. Wow, made a nice mess of that. Oh, well, we can leave that blue. That's fine. Okay. And then we'll have to reassemble and, well, inspect the chassis. But like I said, there's a couple of points on there that I wasn't happy about. We probably should check the connectors, because chances are they're also full of salad dressing. Hey, Cypher Labs. Yeah, we're almost wrapping up here. And then I'm going to go play some 7 Days. Okay. So we'll have to check these connectors, see what sort of terrible condition they're in, when they're salvageable. I mean, realistically, if they're messed up, then just, well, that one definitely is. So you just get rid of it. There's no point trying to repair these ones. Oh yeah, and we've got to put the lid angle sensor on it. So this is a very protracted job. Where did I put the other one? There it is. Yeah, that's some really nice salad dressing junk there. That one's also messed up, so we've got 2 to replace now. I'm going to guess the MagSafe is probably not so crash hot either. Do note that the screws that hold the MagSafe, they are non-magnetic, so they are going to be unique. I will never get these out properly. Where's that T5? What frickin' size are you? Are you T3? Yep, you're T3. Blimey hell. Alright, I have to go get my big roll to find the T3. I better have a T3. Six, 5. Oh, do not tell me that I should most definitely have a T3. Where's my T3s? Someone's going to get a smack. Wow. Okay. Try the other container of screwdrivers. I have had this thing now for 30 years. It's punch down tool, not quite so long. There we go, T3. I keep them all in here because they're very infrequently used. I've got all my different pentalobes there. Yeah, that's seriously messed up. I'm going to have to actually re-quote them, I think, a little bit, because I'm going to have to add the cost of the connectors. Alrighty. And it just so happens I've got enough. Hey, Mr. Heggie. I gotta say, these T3 grub screws, terrible. Maybe they're not even Torx. Maybe they're Hex. I could have sworn they were Torx. Either way, they're not at all pleasant. Alright. These must be T5s. I mean, I don't mind that they used grub screws. Mind you, it's still wouldn't be my choice of screws, but it's more just at T3 size, you very rapidly are going to go from Torx to round. I guess honestly, Apple doesn't give two hoots anyway, so I don't know why I'm even bothering. Okay, tape time. Oh, we almost forgot to put the lid angle sensor back in. Ooh, that would have been unfortunate. Oh, where the hell did I put that screw? That screw that I so valiantly looked for yesterday. Is that you? You feel sufficiently non-magnetic. You can always tell you got the right one because it's the only pentalobe screw. There we go, yeah. And now we perform the contortionist dance. The great battle between what the board wants to do and what I want it to do. Seems we've got a little bit of an impasse. What's going on? There we go. You can't force these ones. You've just got to keep wiggling around, trying to just find the right way to get it to go through. If you force it, you will break it, and if you break it, you will cry. That said, at least Macbook boards are actually tough. When you try that, so any sort of pressure on a lot of these modern PC laptop boards, and they just bend like crazy. What's going on here? Why that doesn't want to stick in right now. Come on. Wow. So much reluctance. You'd think it didn't want to be alive. It's like I was happy being dead. Why did you resurrect me? Almost there. Oh, finally. I was trying to get that camera connector to go. At least I think that one's the camera one. Come on. Okay, let's see, we need a privacy guard. This should about do it. Well, it's certainly chewing into the amp straight away. Oh yeah, it's booted. Yep. Marvelous. Alrighty. Well, that's it for me for tonight then. I think that's definitely a hard-earned job, that one, because remember we spent the entire last night doing the lid angle sensor, and then tonight we've been working on the board. So this is definitely one of the ones that you earned your money, that's for sure. All right then. That's it for me tonight. Thank you very much. By the way, Jason, that A2441, which has got the replacement board on it, the pasting was done poorly on it. We redid the pasting and it's not booting. So I think you've actually got a problem on that with like either the CPU or the GPU BGA is problematic. It's charging and everything fine, and it was booting fine. And yeah, just replacing the paste, and all of a sudden it doesn't want to play ball. I'll have another look over it again, but I'm thinking it's a bad GPU or CPU ball situation. Alright, that's all for me. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Until then, you'll take care. I'll see you later.